welcome to session 1 of my YouTube channel. So this is going to be basically for someone who wants to be a lash tech and doesn't really know where to go. So this is based in the UK requirements. So if you are in another country, please go and check, because you will have different requirements depending on what country you are in. This is for the UK, so there's a sort of set procedure to do. So just make sure that you check for your country, because I don't want you getting into trouble, okay? So this is basically all the information in steps that I would do if I was opening my business again now. And this is something that I wish someone would have told me, but instead we were sort of thrown in the deep end and left our own devices. So let's get straight in. So these are the 7 points that I would do starting off as a business and wanting to grow as a business. So obviously we've got step 1, which is find a good trainer, find a good educator, find a good academy, whatever you want to call it. There's a couple of questions that I'm going to tell you to ask your trainer. This is just to make sure that you don't get ripped off in hindsight, and trust me, I have been. So the couple of questions that you want to ask is, you want to ask like what support you're going to be given. So with my training courses, the students get my mobile number, they get the WhatsApp group, they also get the videos, which is obviously called the student portal, as I call it. Including those videos is each single step. So if they're unsure when they've left their training course of what to do, then they can just go onto their student portal, look at that video, and then they can understand a little bit better without me. They also get the PDF theory, and they also get it in paper version as well. So they get it online and paper version, and that's always updated. So find out with your trainers what support you're going to get afterwards. Is it literally going to be take my money and there's your certificate and that's it? Or are you going to have to do a case study? With my personal courses, you have to do 3 case studies in total. During that time then, I literally get my iPad and I mark the case studies where they need to go a bit like more into detail, where they've gone wrong, where they've gone right, and feed back that information to them for them to give another case study, and hopefully they've grown and taken a bit more information in. Because these courses, you're only seeing one person on that day. That person could have had really good lashes and you were on a roll for your first day, but then you're going to come across someone with tricky lashes, someone could have a reaction, the list goes on. So make sure that you are going to be supported during that time. Another thing you want to obviously check is if they're accredited. So when it comes to accreditation, and I have been bitten on the backside with this, so I would literally just make sure that they're accredited and check with the insurer that you're going with to make sure that they are actually gonna give you the insurance. Some people will say accredited or recognised and things like that, and what that basically means is they may not have the correct accreditation. These could be a company that could insure with one company and not the rest. So make sure whoever you're insured with, that they're going to give you the insurance based on that accreditation. Just double check. It's always worth checking. It's something I didn't do in lockdown, and I wish I did, because I paid a lot of money for a course and it wasn't actually accredited. I could only get insurance with one company, which would make me have to pay 2 insurances for the year. So that's where it starts to get a bit confusing. So just make sure that you do that. Step 2 is obviously pick a business name, pick it to be a bit catchy. I have changed my business name so many times because it's not bored, I was just never happy. My brand is SW Lash Label, so SWLL, and it's been a bit of a whirlwind with that, because I started off with SW, and then I sort of swayed and changed it to all different kinds of brands, and I just didn't really feel it. And don't be scared as well to, like, you should grow as your business grows. You obviously can grow into different logos. It's not like definite like I was, but obviously just make sure that no one near you has got a similar name, because that's happened to me before. And just make sure that they're quite eye-catching and related to you as well, and easy to say, because there's nothing worse. I remember my second name was super long. It was like Sophisticated Beauty Studio, and it was so long, and it was just too long to imagine someone saying, oh, where'd you get your lashes done? Oh, it was Sophisticated Beauty Studio. Just keep it short, sweet, and somewhere easier to find. Also make sure that your domain is free. So obviously your website is going to need a domain, obviously, when you do get a website. So you want to actually check that that's free. So that definitely do that. Another thing is make a list of items needed. So this is literally everything that you're going to need when your lash business starts. And I'm going to do a whole video on this, so I'm not going to dive into details. Also write down the prices and keep a note of what things you've bought. You don't need to buy everything all at once and, have no cash flow coming in. If you have got that available cash, obviously do it, because it's an investment, something that's going to last you a long time. Don't buy cheap, buy twice. Don't buy twice. Oh my God, what's the saying? Buy cheap, buy twice. So remember that, because that's another thing that I've done wrong in my past. So yeah, make a list, tick them off as you go along, and make sure you keep the prices and receipts of everything that you buy, because obviously that's going to be able to be taken off for tax purposes. Set prices using the PFP system. So for those who don't know, it's the price profit system that I use. You can buy this on my website. It's £5, so it's super cheap. It basically shows you how to set your prices, whether you're going to do it by time or by set price, and it gives you this whole sort of formula, and then it'll give you an answer, and that is like your baseline of what you should be charging. What people do is they tend to start a business and then they'll go, right, she's £25, I'm going to go 20. And then 6 months on, you haven't changed your prices, so you're still 20, but then someone else comes along, she's 20, I'm going to go 15. And that's how the prices are like dropping all the time. Remember that you are literally working your butt off. You want to make sure you're making profit in your business. And if you lose money on one treatment, you're going to lose money on all your treatments, because you're always going to be catching up, which I talk about in that document that you get sent. Another thing is create a social media platform. So obviously make sure that you're documenting everything. Everyone loves a story. I love hearing people's stories of how they started and how they've grown. So definitely keep like a little bit of a highlight in your Instagram, and definitely keep like a bit of a track of your sort of progress, because this is a good way to tell your story when you become super successful, which I hope you are. Also as well, social media is massive right now. You've got TikTok, you've got Instagram, you've got Facebook. Personally, I prefer Instagram. And TikTok is massive, but I didn't sort of, with TikTok, I sort of put a little bit of effort in, but I haven't put my full effort in. I know loads of people who had really good success from TikTok, so I definitely think that's going to be the next big platform. So definitely get used to using it. If you don't know how to use it, get a YouTube channel going and have a look at how people write their success stories on there and how they've grown a good audience. Another thing you want to do is create an online booking system. I see so many people starting a business and they don't have a booking system. And I actually coach a few, went to say students then. I coach a few business owners, and the first thing they say, oh yeah, no, I haven't got a booking system. And I'm like, no, you need to have one. You look at anything that is around these days. You've got Just Eat, you've got TikTok shopping that's come out. All these things are instant. Absolutely instant. You think we've got, as I think it's like is it like a 3-second attention span as humans now, when we used to have a bigger amount. So if you imagine someone, it's 12 o'clock in the night, they're looking online for someone to do their lashes and they can't find anyone, and they come to you and you say DM for an appointment. That person's just going to look for another place who's got a booking system, because they want to instantly book. They want to get their holiday lashes checked in. So just make sure that you get it. You want to be fast, instant impact. That's what I say. Also as well, people get scared if they're working part-time. You can set your hours on your booking system, so you don't have to put hours that you're not working. So you can choose your hours still. You just put the times you're available on there. Again, choosing a target audience. So what this means, and I see so many people do it, they set up a business and first thing they do is follow loads of lash tags. The reason you don't want to do that, do it on your personal one by all means, but don't do it on your lash page. And the reason being is because what happens is that TikTok or Instagram will say, oh, she wants to be friends with people who are lash techs, which is not what you want. You want to be targeting the audience of someone who wants their lashes done or wants beauty treatments done, and that is going to be your target audience. You also want to pick and choose what sort of age range your clients are going to be. So mine are between, I would say, 25 all the way up to my 85-year-old client. So it's kind of hard to judge, but most of my clients are between 25 and 50. That's like on average. So I've got quite a wide audience there. So I know that my clients aren't going to be, sort of on they may be on gym pages or uni pages and stuff like that, because they're not uni students now. Well, they may be, depends if they're an adult student, but they're not going to be appearing in that sort. So you want to think of places where your ideal client is going to be. So for me, I used to tag florists, coffee shops, leisure centres, kids, mums, probably sitting down, blah de blah, with looking at their phone. We've all been there if you've got kids. So things like that, that's where your ideal client is going to be. So bear that in mind. They're not going to be on lash pages. They're going to be in coffee shops, florists, you know, wedding makeup, whatever they want to be at. That's where you want to be tagging, and that's where you want to be looking at their followers, if that makes sense. So that is my 7 steps. There is going to be another series where we're going to be talking about equipment, where I went wrong in buying equipment. So I'm going to talk about all that. And I'm also going to be talking how to attract the right client, and also how to go out there and grab your client basically, and also where to look, how to succeed, things like that. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Any questions, just pop them below and I'll be happy to answer.